Oh my god, this episode is gonna be a bit longer than the rest. Naona kama nimeirefusha sana.
Kichama level you are. Tusithubutu kuacha kukasirika. Tunasawa. Lisa is the goat, guys.
Hello. Welcome to Ongeza Volume episode 15. I am your host, Abigail Diana. Brief intro, if you're joining us for the first time on this episode, Ongeza Volume is a platform that supports Kenyan music, and we do mostly event reviews on this podcast. So we are finishing up with events that happened in 2024, and for this episode 15, we're going to be doing events that I attended in August 2024. Let's get right into it. On 4th August, Lavosti was performing at R&B Uncovered, which was an event that I hosted last year. His performance was energy-filled. He was performing with a keyboardist, and obviously he had to perform his famous collaboration with Bensoul, The Lion of Suda album. On 7th August, I was invited to Charisma's listening party for his album The Emotions that was happening at Azteca. Really grateful for this invite. I think Patricia was the one sending out invites. Shout out to her. We arrived at the venue and you had to check in because it was a limited guest list. After that, we went and found a table and sat down. I was seated with Karun and Sharon and other artists. Invitees were mostly Kenyan artists, Kenyan music enthusiasts, and friends of Uncle Riz himself. I had to travel that night, but I had to make it before I traveled. The setup had a purple, pink, red light at the stage, and Gavi was on keys. It was just a simple acoustic setup, but it made sense because it's mostly a listening party. And when I saw the keys setup, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's gonna perform a few songs for us, which he did. He performed some of his old tracks, and then after that now is when we dived into the then unreleased album song by song. So he had a host over there who would prompt and ask questions, and then he would answer mostly the backstory behind the songs. Within the audience, they were distributing candy, definitely from some of his sponsors because he's a brand ambassador, and there were balloons with notes and candy inside, and the note in my balloon said, "You are the real treat." I was like, oh, that is so cute. I had to leave early, unfortunately, like I have mentioned, but I got to record some of the conversations from the listening party.
So I want to invite the host of the launch party, my brother, an amazing person who's given so many opportunities and supported me in so many ways. My brother, Calvin Wagoko.
I was doing the same thing. Oh my god.
But you're not short. I know short people.
The ghetto.
Right.
Oh my god, the ghetto.
Ready?
Yeah.
Right.
So honestly, the thing is, I was doing content for Tusithubutu and I didn't have a beer mug. Na glass zangu manze zinaka glass za maji. Azikai glass za.
Yeah.
Azikai poa na content una get. So I called Calvin and I was like, I've been told you have a Tusker mug. I want it. Nikaenda hadi kwake umsaneshi despoa man. Nikajua kumbe usanii inalipa. Just push on charisma. It's gonna be great.
Studio. So your former bandmates over here.
Yeah.
But now we're here. Again, over here drops it. You guys have all had top record, right? And the whole story we'll get the breakdown. Exclusive business. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the story. Not holding back.
We don't care.
Expose.
Video.
So I remember when you came to the studio and at that particular point you were going through quite a bit of emotions. A lot had been happening. We'll dissect of that. And we just played this, pulled it back on the radio maybe like 6 times.
Yeah.
My producer particular point is being me, I'm just in the leg. 2 ago when you were saying you've used the
I think it's like 5 million, which is
not for a man. it's been a career of, you've been, you know, from you saying, hey, let me get into this thing. Do you have any regrets?
To be honest, no, because I understand you, even by the time I was finishing law school, I absolutely hated it. Like, nilikuwa nachukia hiyo shit na roho yangu yote. I remember the first internship I went to, I was working at Kaplan and Stratton, Limani. Mimi ni deadly, kwani mnadhani naimbanga tu? Anyway, I was working at Kaplan and I remember cat files. Acha nikwambie, hakuna kitu mbaya. If there's anyone who's a lawyer here, there's nothing worse than being a junior lawyer in this life. They treat you like an idiot, like you don't know anything. So my work was to carry files. Like nilikuwa naamka asubuhi in the morning at like 5 or 6 kwenda kwa law firm kubeba files. Hakuna kazi nyingine ya maana ndapatiwa. I even brushed shoes for someone. Yeah.
Definitely not Gen Z.
Yeah. Not Gen Z for sure. Yeah. Millennial to the bone. Anything for the money. Lini millennial? Mnanikataa? But the Gen Z wananikubalingi tu time ya maandamano. Nikimaliza maandamano. When mzee. Yeah, but anyway, so I remember carrying files na zilinikata vidole. Hata niko na hiyo mark bado. That day, so the next week we were having a gig with the band in the coast. So you can imagine the polar opposites of that situation. Nakatwa na mafile kwa ofisi, alafu mademu anatupigia manduru coast. Nikajua tu kitu moja, hii sheria nayo sifanyi. At that point, I knew I don't care what money I'm gonna make on this other side, whatever kind of money I'm gonna make, I'm not going there again. I prefer being screamed for by women. That's what I want. Yeah.
Why I asked you that was for the last couple of weeks since the 25th of June and how international and just at the forefront you've been with everything Ruto must go. I remember at some point when we were actually just discussing how we're going to do this listening party. This guy was deep in a meeting, we're about to hit a conclusion. And said, Mike?
It was Mike. Mike ako happy. Yeah.
Where's
Mike?
This guy said,
yeah, he's somewhere here.
He's like, this meeting we can continue later. I've got to run to Kasarani police station to make sure that Mike not to spill your beans a bit too much. This man right here, drop in your mic, hako saizi amekula breeze mbaya. Unajua ni soft. So I was like, okay, ni sawa, unaweza enda. And think about it. I think you'd have made a pretty good lawyer, for real. And I actually think, shout going out to everything that the Law Society of Kenya chairperson does. She does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I think you'd have probably been that person at the helm right now.
No. Yes, because serious. Yeah, but I mean, I think I'm a good foot soldier. Like I'm those people, I'm a booster. Kazi ya booster najua. Hiyo ya uko mbele spendi. Yeah, so but anyway, that day, and that was a very weird day. I remember. So we're coming from Calvin's place, yeah. So we end the meeting and I'm like, Mike has been arrested. We have to go. Don't let Mike. We have to go. And then we reach the police station and I'm with Patricia who's at the back. I don't know if I'm seeing well. Was I with Patricia? Yeah, with Patricia and Lingba at the back. And we reach the police station and these guys are like, wait. Now we're ukiingia pia watakushika. And then we stood at the gate and I'm like, hey, this is actually not a very sane idea. So I'm like, let's wait for a bunch of lawyers to come. And then do you know who comes? Ngatia. I'm like, yani, hapa ni kama tunafanya offer. Tuko Waki Wednesday. Buy one, get one from Terrific Tuesday. Chukua wote. But that was a very interesting but yeah, it's been, I think this whole thing has been, honestly, to some juu mi napenda kwa anti-authority. Mi nachukia Ruto na roho yangu yote. So I've not been doing this just, and I get asked a lot of times, are you afraid, are you scared? And to be honest, hakuna msi ana love tear gas. Si wangana Kimanzi, hiyo shida ulipuliwa hivi pat, nanga tuonekani tena. Hatukwangi ati wanaume, leta ingine. Kuna wasemudu hivyo, si tunakuanga tulienda. Ikirushwa hapo Moi Avenue, the next time tuko City Market. Hataka hiyo mchezo. So see fun, but in a feel too, and this is just to everyone here. It's like, I think if we don't speak out for what we deserve, no one will. There's no one who's gonna do this shit for. So if we don't do it for ourselves, who will? You know. And I'm glad as a generation. I don't want to say Gen Z because I think it's the youth in Kenya who are doing this, and I think the youth in Kenya have decided to be at the forefront of it. Na mimi kitu ndawaambia tu sahi msichoke. Don't get tired. Anytime you feel like it's a lot, take some time, breathe, but msichoke. Na kesho tuonane.
Speaking about tomorrow, I don't know, Nane, definitely, that is happening. But since I think most of us have been here in 9 o'clock news at Njora, the president has just said he's going to be swearing in the cabinet secretary. Breaking news.
Tunaanza usiku.
Alright, so guys, the reason why we're here is, of course, the man has been working very, very hard. He's got a 10-track album that's going to be dropping tomorrow at 11:59. Friday, yes, 11:59 Friday. PM. Only Friday. Essentially.
Midnight.
Yeah. It's Friday. We're just being dramatic. It's Friday. So kesho 12 a.m. 12 a.m. Kingia, whatever DSP, you'll find it. Alright. So, how we're going to do it is this. We're going to go through the songs. Like I said, 10 songs, different features and all of that. Very beautiful album. I've listened to, privy to being able to listen to it. Congratulations once again. I think it's a dope project. And knowing Charisma and all the energy he represents, I think when he does the live show, I think you guys should miss it. To be honest, in those albums, you've got to watch him perform live. With a show of hands, how many people have bought their tickets, by the way? Already?
That's a lie.
Consider it done.
Kuna watu
Kenya sana. Sasa Kimanzi hata maandamano yuko fika sijui
2 p.m.
Ni kweli. Sasa zile tia gasi imeacha kuwa kali sana.
Alright. So I think what we're going to do is start with just the general vibe of the album, right? First and foremost, how long has it taken for you to actually work on this project?
So I'm gonna say we worked on this project from around the time we started working on Noma, which was in July of last year, and we really wanted to, the goal was to release this album in March. That was the goal. But manze wasanii kama fundi, vitu tu sijui ni happen, ziukataa tu. And that's why my team even refused for me to do gigs. They were like, tunataka usote ndio kuna motivation ya kuanza album. I was told if you don't finish this album, no shows until we have new music. So it started in July, and the goal was to have the songs out. So we did Sinanoma and Trust Issues, and I think in March the rest of the album was meant to drop, but nilikuwa na kaujinga, so hatukumaliza hiyo time, but tuko hapa.
So 10 tracks, right? So
yeah.
When musicians are doing albums,
yeah.
and I think we've had this conversation again. We have done maybe about something tracks like that.
Yeah.
So how do you arrive at this?
So for me, first of all, I always say like for me, how many people here are fans of Bruno Mars? Yeah. So if you know Bruno Mars music, Bruno Mars' albums are normally really short. It's 9-10 songs. And every time I listen to his albums, I'm always like, this is exactly what I want to do. Like I want my album to. So I'm speaking to in terms of the length of the album to be an album where you can sit down in one sitting and just listen to the whole project, and it's done. Jumini will say when I'm listening to an album, if I stop in the middle,
gone.
Your album imeisha. If I stop at song 6, song 7 to 20, I will never hear them in my life. So I always want to make the album I wanted to make the album very easy for people to listen to. And how we chose the songs that just spoke to my emotions. The songs that felt like what Charisma has been through. And when you listen to the songs, as you guys are going to do, right, I'm going to be very honest with each and everyone. Yeah, me, I've been a problem child all my life. That's number one. That's my cousin, by the way. Our family has problems. But I've been a problem child all my life. And in this album, what I wanted to do is give a picture of who 21, 22, 23, 24-year-old let me say Fidel was. For those of you who don't know, my government names are Fidel. Yeah, so my government name is Fidel. And yeah, and I just wanted to let people into my life a bit and make them see what my youth were. I don't want to say youth because I don't think I'm old. Gen Z, shut up. I need to show what my early 20s have been like, and like it's been tumultuous and all that kind of stuff. And so even the album is divided into like 2 parts. There's one part of the album that feels like, apart from like the first song, feels like very ratchet, you know, because that's who I was. I wanna be honest. I have people here who've known me all my life. Na mimi mtu wa bash, mimi napenda tabia mbaya. I'm joking.
No, honestly, he's actually not lying.
Yeah.
So without no further delay,
Yeah.
I think we're going to go straight into song number 1.
Yeah.
I want to say so much, but
Yeah, don't say it.
let's just listen to this song. Song number 1, ready? Alright, so the song number 1 is titled Let You Know.
You just want to love that person and love them exceedingly and abundantly, and you want to be there for them, and say, and you know, you want to say all that dumb shit that people say. Oh, maybe I should let you know that even if the apps should fly away, I'll find a way to you. And I want to be honest, I'm partly a hopeless romantic.
Partly?
Your friends know you better than you're trying to lie.
Okay, next song.
So before we even move to the next song, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the first song. Clap for the man. Beautiful. That I can't wait to watch you perform that. We're gonna bring it to you.
Yes, Bayona Zalia.
Who produced this, by the way?
Oh,
Exactly,
yes.
exactly.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, please.
So even before we go too far, I want to acknowledge one of the most important people in my life, and I don't even mean this as a joke. This person is literally my family, Lazma. So Fresh, my producer. So Fresh has produced 9 out of 10 of the songs on this album. For the whole 10-year period of my existence as a musician, So Fresh has been my producer. I've never sounded redundant. I've never sounded like Vita ni roto peke yake. Yeah, but So Fresh is my brother, my big brother, my producer. He's the one who produced this song, and the next 8 songs on the album. The last song has been produced by Muthoni, who's not in the country at the moment, and I do tour Europe.
I know, right?
Yeah. But So Fresh produced this amazing music, and I love him. So thank you so much, bro.
Shout out to So Fresh, man. Let me tell you guys, a couple of weeks ago, we were having a conversation about like next steps in terms of, elevation when this man starts to tour all over like Muthoni, right? And the one thing that he said, if he was even to move like, sign to like major label, he was like, I'm gonna bring my producer in. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Always. Wherever I go, So Fresh goes. Yeah.
Right now, the next one produced So Fresh as well.
Yay.
So the next one is called Weevu.
Maria Aki. I hope Maria is not wearing a sideria. Oh, she said no. Wow.
Alright,
Really?
go anytime. Kuna watu hapa kwanza. Yes.
Me, listen.
No, kidogo Fidel. Kuna watu wa juice. Sidiria.
Oh, sidiria kwa Kiswahili ni kanchiri. Okay, ni bra. Kwani mnadhani maziwa ni ya wapi? Honestly, msanii ni kioo cha jamii. And what I'm singing is societal. It's what each and every one of you does. I'm just a reflection of you guys.
There's that very famous bar by a rapper. I'm going.
Wasewa hip hop wanakuanga no stress.
No, I know where I'm going. And it's a very famous line that says, wanajaribu kunitumaliza ka industry ya kamisi.
Oh, walai. Ni kweli. Nani ameona kamisi in the past like 3 years? Mwana kamisi? Manzi ya Mutinda.
That's the last thing I'm saying. And actually, the rap I'm talking about is Femi One. Femi One says that.
Femi One,
Shout out to Femi One. But yo,
I want to say, even before we move, yeah, like even I was doing this Sidiria line because it came as a joke, and then everyone was like, "In a sound pause, we work it." We're just like, but they move as Sidiria bad. You know, wrong msidanganya. Kukiwa na baridi tutaona ukweli. Yeah. Everybody wanna watch it, but you know, I don't know where the world is going.
Yo, but so to get into the matter of the song, check it out on Abonga, the NVW. What's going on? What are you thinking about when writing this?
So with this song, it's really, I'll be honest, like, it's, you see, the first song was about love and like, on a honeymoon stage, like, I'm saying, cute. And then the next song is like, when you get comfortable in the situation, and you people start getting nasty. Okay, Maria, shut up. Kwanza wewe ndio Maria, hafai kusikia wimbo. Huyo dada yangu. When you start getting comfortable and you start like talking dirty to each other, you start saying that kind of thing. And listen, one thing I always say about relationships, it's so weird, yeah? When people are like in love and you've gotten past the honeymoon, you always feel like everyone is against you. For some reason, kila mtu dhani waseni maheta. Okay, Jola is a relator, it feels like everyone is a hater. So even as I was writing that verse, it felt like how we always are so combative at that stage in a relationship. Cheki vile watu wanabonganga. Whatever they say, it don't matter. Like you think you have imaginary enemies. You're like Nyashinsky. Bro, acha niambie mbona nasema hivyo. Si wote gigia nyash wote, lakini for some reason kuna kuanga na haters. Wait. Kipala bila pesa. Jeff, sit down. Let me tell you, this is one of my boys who will get me in trouble. Nyash should never know this is my best friend. Because I won't get that collaboration. But yeah, like how we always think people are hating on us. So it's like, it was those ones in the first verse we were talking about, like, just don't worry about them. This is not about anyone else. This is me and you. Anything anyone else is talking about, I don't care about it, yeah? Fanya mambo yako, ukitaka unajua vile, I don't know if there's ladies in the house who've been in relationships with those who tell you, unachoma. Msijifanye, umeteseka. Tunajua kuna podcast sasa unajifanya. Yo. Yeah, but you know those dudes who make you feel like, you're being too much. So for me, it's like, you know what? Do your thing. It doesn't matter. If you're comfortable, do it. And the second verse is just, this is me to her. Maria, nivolie, sidiria, ninyamazia, niweze kutulia. Na Waluya tunakuanga hivyo. Kuna mmoja alisema baika na nini? Alisema anamusa baika na nini? Baika na kamisi. Sasa alidhani amemaliza zote, tulibaki na sidiria. Yes.
Alright guys, so song number 2, that was it. Now as we proceed, right, you remember how when he was talking about the album, he doesn't really care about the opinion, Ashamaliza, you guys have to listen to. I want you guys to like keep tabs and say, everybody personal favorite, it says this and this to me, like it's a personal kind of thing. So we'll randomly ask guys which are there. Now the next one,
Aki kona katabia mbaya mahali, msini judge.
Hey, the next one is This Man and the King. No, would I call him the
boss?
King? The boss. William, every single time I see him performing at any show, ladies are going absolutely crazy. And the song is about Njerae, something that you've confessed to loving.
Yeah, I love partying. Honestly, I'll be honest with the people in this circle. Kama mtu amekasima yuwagi chini. Mimi napenda bash mbaya. Mimi nilizaliwa kupiga bash nilizaliwa kupiga.
The next song is called Njerae, and it features the one and only Okelo Max. Let's go.
As a person and as a young man, yeah. So I got to the point where I was in situationship. Okay, situationship. I was in situationships. You don't want them to be like, Najua mtajifanya. But you don't want to name them, you don't want to say what this is. But you're enjoying being in it. And you want to do all that relationship stuff, but you don't want to commit to this person. Yeah. So, I know this is a thing for people with commitment issues. A large part of my life has been that. Just not being able to commit, like, in a feeling like, okay, it's starting that. But then I'm going to walk, minimum start, after any walk. Yeah, but anyway, it's just literally about people who struggle with commitment and like they want to be in situations where they're enjoying all the benefits of being in love, but don't really want to say that they're in love. And like both of them are scared about what the outcome will be if they actually explore it. So it's like, can we keep this thing undercover and just be who we are, you know?
You know how you actually say it on the song is very, you don't talk about cake and eating it, right?
Yes.
Let's keep it on the low, no one has to know. Here for the physical, not the emotional. Did you guys hear that? Nyama kwa nyama. Boss. Nyama kwa nyama kwa ngoma buda.
Namaanisha kuhack. No, listen.
Watu wanahack na gazeti.
Okay, so listen, I'll explain. What that chorus meant was, so the first part of the chorus is beautiful lover, let's keep it undercover. Si mambo ya watu. Cause if I give you whatever I give you, yeah, that one. I know you won't recover. So hatutaki ku-explore your angle kwa sababu itaharibu mambo. Mukwa na tamaa, kwanza tukikusana, tukiwa nyama kwa nyama. And what I mean there is like basically like even when we're there, just you know how you meet the. Let me tell you. And this energy, najua mtajifanya kwa sababu mko mbele ya watu. But when you hug the person you like, it's never the same as hugging random charisma, you know. I was kidding ni kama umeact some guy. So that tension you have between the two of you, that's what I was speaking to.
You had me at, if I give you banana, you won't drink. This song is a big problem. That's what you've said. That's just said the album.
Okay.
Alright, now moving on to song number 5.
Yes. This one of my, I don't want to say favorite, but I like jam.
Well, that was kind of long, but I had asked you guys on Instagram and I'd put a poll. Na nikawauliza kama mnataka kusikia those experiences through the recordings, and 90, should be like 96% of you guys said that you don't feel like it's outdated and you'd still want to listen to that. I wasn't able to stay, like I said, so that was all I could get from Charisma's listening party. Moving on 15th of August was the much eagerly awaited, I think it was postponed because of Mandamano, the Out with the Old launch by Njerae live at The Alchemist. I was approached to MC this event. It was one of my favorites in terms of MCing. I had so much fun on stage. I had also hosted the listening party to this album prior to this event. It should be in May. I must have already talked about it. The deco and setup at Alchemist was themed like the project. There were like butterflies at the entrance and also some were attached to the microphone stands. The deco was done by Picture Perfect. Oh yeah, I was also hosting with Ivex, one of my favorite co-hosts. So I was like, hey, I think I need to dress up like the project and something that would give Njerae and also have those colors and that vibe. And I am so glad that I decided to do that because when I arrived, I was like, oh, nimevaa kama deco. Yeah, that is one of my favorite outfits on stage. The butterfly at the entrance had hashtag Mwaka wa Njerae on top. Obviously, we had to take photos there. Once again, Nick, credits to coining that Mwaka wa Njerae. Nick was the one who was DJing for this event. Let me tell you, for this event, the unit band were the stars of the show because they were playing for all of the artists. And not out of convenience for this event, but they are the band that actually play with Mali, Analo, and Njerae, who were the ones who were performing at this particular event. So the first artist on stage was Mali. It was a soulful performance. He was performing music of his debut EP, which is melodramatic. You guys should go and listen to that. The arrangements were full band and they sounded so good. They gave so much life to his music. I can't wait for Mali to release more music this year. Mali, if you're listening to this, please give us some more music. Next on stage was Anna Lokanga, also performing with the unit band. Her performance was really good. These artists were given like a minimal time ya performance ilikuwa kidogo, which is understandable because this would give Njerae enough time to perform. So mnajua mimi napendanga events zenye zinaishanga mapema, so it was quite convenient for me. Analo was signed by Solgen Publishing, and she's a singer, songwriter, saxophonist. She was performing with also Muya, who should be the trumpet. I didn't mention the members of unit band for those who are new to the podcast. On drums, we have Sam Githinji. On bass guitar, we have Mark Moore, or Mark the bassist. And on lead guitar, we have Mark Muller. And on keys, who's also the music director, we have Ebenezer Nzuna. Next on stage was Njerae. Basically, a general overview of her performance. She had 2 sets. There was a break in the middle where I vibed with Nick the DJ on stage. So Njerae started off with tracks from Unintentional and some of her singles. She did Pressure for the first time. I was experiencing Pressure for the first time on stage. Bro, that was such an exhilarating experience because the first time I listened to Pressure was on YouTube and I remember crying. I cried so much. Like, I don't understand majority of what is in the song, but just the emotions that come when you listen to that song, oof, my gosh. Njerae called Mali back on stage and where they performed one of my favorite collaborations, Kweli, off, now out with the old EP. At some point, Njerae also performed with a dancer. And then now into the second set, the unit band performed a set of covers. I think it was for like about 10 minutes. Most of the songs were Chris Brown songs. But I was discussing with some people who attended the event, and we were like, this is an event for Njerae, and you're the band playing with Njerae. So we were like, it would have been really nice if the unit band did a cover set for Kenyan music. Like, that would be really dope because I know the arrangements are always top tier and this guy's put in the work so much. So hopefully this year mtatengeneza set ya purely Kenyan music. During the second set, Njerae came out with a crop top with the hashtag Mwaka wa Njerae on it. That was really cool. For the first time ever, she performed Siwezi Mind, the interlude, with a full band. Bro, I cried. I was so glad I didn't have makeup. Man, like, apart from me hosting the event, yes, I also like to experience the event as much as I can, if I can. It depends with the work that is allocated. If it's just emceeing and it's not too stressful, I like to savor the moments and also enjoy the event. And bro, this was like a dream come true because that interlude was one of my top songs in 2024. It's everything, bro. During Siwezi Mind, when the band was playing the arrangement, she gave out flowers to the audience, and I think the flowers were attached to like a tiny note, and I think Mwaka wa Njerae or Njerae merchandise, like a wristband. That was so cute. It was so memorable. Like, that is something inaweza kuwa ngumu sana kusahau. She brought onto stage Lisa Odor, Noah for Friends. Oh my gosh, you know me, I love Lisa. This woman right here, her vocals, as I had mentioned in the previous episode, she sounded exactly like in the recorded version. She even did like the ad libs that are in the original song. Like, bro.
You can see it looks so easy on this, and I'm losing my mind, 'cause loving you so easy. You won't let you choose me. No one needs to play. Jumping down the friend zone, baby. Out of the friend zone, baby. Jumping down the friend zone, baby.
also something that stood out for me for Njerae's performance. She did a fast-paced house rendition of It's You, which is a collaboration with Polycarp of his project. That was the first time also experiencing that rendition, and it's interesting. It has people like the song itself is mellow.
It's you, tell me you know, bado nitangoja, mimi we wako siku moja.
But the arrangement ilikuwa like ya kudance, like ya kurukaruka.
It's you,
Those were most of my highlights from Njerae's performance. I can't wait to see Njerae perform this year some more. And I'm also looking forward to maybe new music from her because she's been signed with Universal. They're obviously cooking, so can't wait to see what they have in store for us. On 18th August was Tindy's fundraiser at R&B Uncovered, which I was hosting. It was basically a jam session for her friends, and June Gashui was there as well. And she told us the backstory and the progress of where the funds had reached. And at least we were able to know how much more we need to raise. And shout out to everybody who was able to contribute for that cause, because I had mentioned she is now out of hospital. On 21st August, Blinky, Bill, and Muthoni Drama Queen were performing at Alliance Fonse. They were giving us a snippet of their unreleased collaborative project. And the title of their project is Now It's Experience Talking, which is a very interesting title for a project. Like, y'all rookies, have a seat and let us show you how it's done. That's the vibe it's giving. The visuals alone on the screen were insane for an unreleased project. Like, I think wamejipanga on this one. MDQ performed first, then Blinky alone for a minute, then both of them together. Lisa was the background vocalist, as always, for both MDQ and Blinky.
sing this song.
Then they got to perform our favorite classics, which they've collaborated on. I didn't record much at this event because I was like 100% in the moment and I wanted to absorb everything that I had. So unfortunately, I didn't get snippets for you guys.
So it's very experimental. Just enjoy the vibes. Pali tunasahau lyrics vya Ongeza yako. Hizi ni watu kwa studio wasemana. Studio fiti. Let's go.
On 22nd August, we all found out that Extra Pressure was supposed to be on Bien's album, but Chiki didn't think it was international enough. So Bensol took it. And I got to ask you guys on Instagram stories, on a poll, if you feel like Extra Pressure has international potential, ama it's like purely local content. And 81% of you thought it was an international song. On 23rd August, I attended Charisma Live. The event was happening at Mass House. The venue's theme was under construction because exactly, the venue was under construction. I found when Saem and Kibunja were on stage, mlitisha review sana for this event immediately after the event. Like, bro, I couldn't even sleep. Niliamkia tu ma DMs mkisema, hey, review. So I had to post the review on the stories. So let's go through them like briefly. So at this point, according to the schedule, Charisma alikuwa anafaa apande stage in a couple minutes or so. This is Kibunja and wakiendelea na set yao. They put the album art on the screen na jukebox wakaanza kuset up. Tukasema bas, masaa zimefika. But guess what, guys? Later on, we came to find out that time that jukebox was coming onto stage was the time that they were doing sound check. Because why? There was no electricity earlier on in the day. Imagine. So we got excited for a minute and then we saw them leave the stage. We're like, oh, wait, what? So we continue waiting. But Charisma tweeted and said they've experienced some technical challenges and we should be a bit more patient. And we're like, okay, let's just offer grace for a minute. So all this is sound check because they did like a Suda set. So I think they were sound checking with that. Still buying more time. Now, this particular DJ really pissed us off. It was the DJ who was supposed to perform after Nick, the DJ, after the performance. So I think he was put before the performance kuendelea kubuy time. This was at 11 p.m. He was playing the same old 3, 4 a.m. white music at a Kenyan music show. Like, tulikata hiyo maneno, guys. We were so tired of waiting and he did a very terrible job at keeping us occupied. Play Kenyan music. Play Kenyan music. We're not about to entertain mediocre, honestly. Atuchezi, atuendelee kucheza. Somebody said alikuwa anacheza mix ya Teens Church in 2010. That was hilarious. Kwa background mnasikia Clark King, Zawadi na Zalali on the background vocals. Amazing. Always spicing up performances. This is Tusithubutu and Njerae joined him on stage. Yeah, they mashed up Tusithubutu and Buy Your Drink. That was very interesting. They had never done that to Tusithubutu before. Not that I remember. Guess who? Emma Cheruto joined him on stage. Of course, this is Mbidi and the song is Unavyonipenda. Bro, every time they would start a song, I would feel like, I think they revamped all the intros to the songs, the intros and the outros. Backstory, for a while, Kitambo, I don't even remember which year it was at this point. I've been doing this for so long. But Kadini and I, we realized, arrangements na charisma zilikuwa zimekuwa so monotonous. This is way before, like, hata before the podcast. And he was given that feedback. And bro, ever since then, like, moving forward, the performances are so different. They put in, like, so much effort in spicing up the arrangements. They're not the same, so you don't even know what to expect, and that is what we like most of the time. Summer stunts. Oh, a lady came onto stage with a wedding dress, bro. Like, people are like, Charisma got married at his show. Oh my gosh. And also, who thought this song would fit so well in the middle of a set? Like, we're so used to him ending the performances with this song. But you see, the same thing about like mixing up and mashing up things for a performance always makes everything so exciting. For a second, reflexes zetu zilidhani, show inaenda kuisha, but yo, there was so much left yet. Nasikia Gavi. So this was a short musical interlude where the background vocalist, that's Clark King, Zawadi and Zalali, continued performing the song as Charisma went to change and they jammed with the band for a few minutes. This was so nice rather than a DJ set or silence or something. I was kind of wishing that one of them or all of them could have performed maybe a tiny set of theirs, maybe like one song or something to also fill in the gap, but this works better than a DJ set by far. The sets were a couple, so these were like the transition breaks. Next akakuja na Le Band on stage and they performed Leo. Iceland was doing the most. I saw like everybody in the band was doing the most. Iceland was doing the most on lead guitar. Musalia's bass, I'm sure sahi by now mmeshasikia vile alikuwa anafinya hiyo kitu. MJ as well. This is Zalali, by the way. So now this is transitioning into the set of the new project. So beginning was his old music, Le Band music, and then now into the new music from the Motions. Fun fact, Billy Black is the one who wrote this song. So during tonight, alileta madanzas. So they were dancing the routine or the choreography as he just stood there in the middle of the stage and sang. Mnasikia hiyo audience, bro. Yo, this is insane. Goosebumps. This is Chiomio coming to stage to perform Form, their collaboration. With dancers, I like the dance routine to this song. Like every time I listen to this song, I just imagine this dance routine. Of course, they had to do the Monarchy Millennial medley. LYE to the world, yeah. So Ayrosh came onto stage, and when you see Brandon Musalia as Baby Suda coming to the front on a drum, things are about to go crazy. Also, don't we love how the bass usually sounds during Monarchy Millennial live performances? Regardless of whoever is playing JP or Brandon Musalia, who else has done it? I think those two so far. Bro, these two are madmen. Do you know what they're doing right now? They're running on stage. Yo, you know what was a brilliant idea? Including Zawadi, Zalali, and Clark into our usual medley. Inakwanga a fun jam session that mostly ends up too fun and chaotic. I'm not complaining, by the way. They always fit the occasions. This one felt refined, organized, and rehearsed. It's like they knew which song comes next and who performs next. Also, I don't know if you can hear the bass. So apparently, Gavi was playing bass notes on keys. Like, cause Musalia ameachilia bass guitar, amekuja ukumbele kuimba as Baby Suda. That was crazy, bro. So when they're performing this medley, they were installing like temporary street stands on stage. One of them was written Sabina Joy. They had just some like corny names on stage. So I think that was in preparation for the next song. I mean, Charisma's team, big up for that. Like they made it look so seamless. Because if somebody was not focusing on that, wanaangalia performance, by the time wanamaliza wako like, oh, stage setup may change. Tuingie the next song because ini outro ya Monarchy Millennial. Aliletewa kiti na akakaa chini katikati ya stage. This is Liar, but I couldn't hear Clark's audience really well. Kwa hiyo part yenye inakwanga at the beginning, where there's usually some melody being sung. And the intro was really good by Jukebox. Bensol came onto stage shortly after because any trust issues. Alikuwa amevaa t-shirt yenye ilikuwa imeandikwa Tusita and then arrows pointing up and down. Arrangement na nusu bro. Yoya Tajiri and Coastal John graced this stage to perform Away or Omale. Thrilling as always. The monumental moment that went viral. That is the sound of a bra being thrown onto stage, and when one started, like 10 others followed. That was a crazy moment. Bensol came onto stage to introduce members of Kodong clan, and they started performing individual collaborative sets. That is not Kodong music, but makolab amongst themselves. Over the last couple of performances, you've realized that kama mmoja wao ako na gig, they go and support that person and also plug themselves on stage. They give each other like kidogo minutes to perform maybe 1 or 2 songs. But this one, they took their time. Not complaining though, because they were still new and stuff. Bonus for Bensol, Jukebox are also his band. So at this point, all the members of Kodong clan have been called to stage by name. Kodong leaves stage and then Charisma continues with his performance. Dancers join him on stage to perform Sherehe. At a dance routine, ya hii wimbo, Okello danced. I think Kodong clan has challenged these guys to know how to dance. Anyway, Onyach and Yoya come onto stage as Watendawili to perform Honor. Muthoni was out of the country, so he wasn't able to go onto stage, but they did something really cool to replace that. Wali perform hivi, sound ikazimika. Hey, this venue, hey, your time. Ndio hiyo. Sound ilizima. Of course we blamed Ruto. This part where they say Tumechill Gang Gang Waziwazi was so nostalgic because this was the same stage where Waziwazi was held. And remember, Waziwazi was one of our... Actually, Waziwazi was where my playlisting journey began, I think. And it was one of the most memorable events ever. Because the lineup was Brandy Minor, Kethan, I'm not sure if Kinoti performed, Charisma, Watendawili, like this people, our alt KE faves. So Vasamotoria, they put visuals on the screen of him singing the exact same words, exact same part. I think that was really cool because he was on tour. Icelid executed the guitar solo part really well, like chilled. This part ndo namaanisha. When this song was released, when the album was released, I was like, okay. Honor sounds like Bumaye. And do you know what these people went ahead and did for the live arrangement and performance of this particular song? They went ahead and mashed up Bumaye, Boomba Chain, and Honor. Acrobats wakatokea out of nowhere, wakakuja kurukaruka stage. Icelid is still doing the solo. Musalia is joining Icelid. Wamekuja hapo kucheza pamoja. MJ and Afinya, like a lot was happening. That was crazy from Jukebox. That was really good. They executed that idea really, really well. This is the best version of Sinanoma. I love how they incorporate Clark King, Zawadi, and Zalali. I love the Sinanoma outro. So here it is. Afterwards, DJ Nick was the one on stage, obviously played full KE set. Alikuwa to surprise after every 2 seconds. It was a good end to the event. Imagine after kumetulia and the DJ set is over and people are just chilling, finishing up their orders and stuff. The staff wa Mass House wakaanza kutufukuza so rudely. Like maybe wameimprove sahi, but hiyo time manze walitukatia. Cause sasa tunaenda kusimama wote huko kwa exit tukingoja cabs, like is it even safe? That was a really weird thing for them to do. I hope wameimprove sahi. Tuendelee na this other August events tukizimalizia. On 24th August, Rumbi was having an event live at Moov Cafe Bistro. I caught Ongeza on stage. Rumbi is so talented. I've actually seen he's been featured in one of the 30% podcast episodes, ndo nilikuwa nasikiza a while back. And I was just listening to his story and I'm like, hey, yo. Apparently he also manages Njiru and Chiru. That's really cool. Apart from being an instrumentalist, singer, songwriter. Yo, that's amazing. Njiru, Kui, and Boy Black and Zalali were all features on the project that was going to be released by Rumbi. This was like a tease into the project that they were launching on that day. The title of that project is Chasing the Shine, that got released later that month on 30th. On 25th August, Karun and Watendawili were performing at Sarit Center. Karun performed with Lucas on keys. We already discussed like a full Karun performance, so this was acoustic, so I won't dwell much onto it. Of course, I am a big Karun fan, so I enjoyed the performance, and she was also one of my top artists last year. Watendawili performed with a full band, and they performed after Karun, and they had a run on their feet all through their performance. Obviously, had to leave earlier because at 6 p.m. I was hosting Sage at the R&B Uncovered at 254 Beer District, same day. For that event, I hosted with one of my favorite co-hosts, Ivex. Sage performed with a lead guitarist, and she's an amazing singer, songwriter. At some point, she held the lead guitar and performed Blue Dress, which is one of my favorite songs, and she could play the guitar, and I was like, wow, that is amazing. She performed some covers and also some of her original songs. On 29th August, LYE was back and Ayrosh was performing at Vineyard, Kiambu Road. So, general, quick going through. They started off with saxophone covers by Kimber Sax and the Jukebox Band. Kimber Sax plays the saxophone. Rasamor joined them, who's their lead vocalist for LYE. They did their usual LYE sets. Then Ayrosh came onto stage. And by the way, the whole performance is on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description of this episode. Tuko huko tunaonekana, walitumulika sana, but we were having a good time. It was a good performance. We were looking forward to tracks of Superstar, which he delivered, definitely. Babu alipanda stage. Babu is one of the members of Honsphere. He plays the tenor saxophone. Fun fact, he also played on the project, like during the recording. And now, since this performance is on YouTube, itabidi mmeenda kuiwatch, so I won't say much about it. On 30th August, I attended Tumetoka Very Far by Elsaphan Njora. The band that was playing was JZL on drums, Boni on bass guitar, Lucas Mwesh on keys. Njora is a singer, songwriter, rapper, poet, etc. And Manasseh Shalom was also part of the background vocalist, and he was playing the acoustic guitar. Kendin Konge, Sia, and Jojo were the rest of the background vocalists. The show started by an intro of the background vocalist singing Njora's name. So he started performing some of his pieces, some of them released, some of them unreleased, and some of them are covers. There's something that he said in one of his pieces. He said some journeys are meant to be completed and some are more of detours than the end. That was really deep, by the way. He had some really dope audience engagement. The gig felt so intimate. There was like minimal lighting with the stage only being lit. Lamps were hanging low kwa stage, and the person doing lights was coordinating it with the music. It was so stimulating. He performed, released from Njora wa Manjaro, his project. Something else he said was, "You did not come this far to come this far." Nakwambia alikuwa ana drop bars. there's there's this song that was so funny. Finally, broke ass niggas winning. It's such a hilarious song. And then they would say like broke ass nigga gang bang bang. Having revised the project properly, I really enjoyed the live performance, bro. Hey, they performed Milimama Bonde, which is a song that I'm really obsessed with from the first time I watched it on Cheche Sessions. He usually sings it with Kendin Konge on the Cheche Sessions. There's a time Boni killed it with a bass solo. Oof, bass girls. Hold on to your seats.
Hey, Bonnie.
Sia sang Binadamu, which was my most streamed song according to Airbuds. So trust me, I cried. I cried so much when that song was sung. And she was singing as keys only were playing.
Iko huko mbinguni na tukifika huko tutaimba haleluya, makao ya raha na starehe iko huko mbinguni.
He did a song dedicated to his child, and it was so heartfelt. Kendi sang some parts on it. Irinaitwe came to sing, and he also played the acoustic guitar. At some point, Njora, Sia, and Kendi came forward to sing a capice. They harmonized so well.
Take my heart, love me tender, yours for keep. Love me tender, love me sweet, love me tender, I'm yours for keep.
This show was a live performance, a comedy show, and a skit all in one. Later on, he had a poem written on a piece of paper. Then he asked who had never been on stage ever before in their lives. Msake no mkono, and he went ahead and he went and read it on stage. Like, that was really cool. So much audience engagement. It was amazing. We danced, we cried, we sang, we laughed so much. My heart was so full, and I remember I wasn't even like 100% then. At the end, as the show was coming to a close, he would tease his released and unreleased tracks, and then stop it and tell us to go and stream the music. Like walikuwa na perform kidogo alafu walikuwa na perform kidogo alafu anasema aya endeni mstream hiyo sasa. It was hilarious. He did a tribute to all the fallen heroes, and he's written a song in the perspective of those who passed away. That was a heavy one.
Round of applause for everyone who has stood for our country. Let me tell you, even an act of kindness aside is a show of defiance is government. Even an act of defiance shall make. All right? Tumetoka? Na tunaenda? Ladies and gentlemen, I want the last time I did this show, I didn't tell the audience that there's something else coming, but there's something else. In March, we're going to say March on. We're going to march on. We're going to be having a show here at Breban, but at the main auditorium. Sisi tumesema tumetoka very far. Sasa tuko hapa. Haya basi, that's the name of the show. Haya basi. What a hashtag. Come on. So, see you then.
On 31st August was Kethan Live Experience 2. Woohoo! It was happening at Nairobi Cinema, and I was approached last minute to MC, and I was like, yes, damn, what took y'all so long? Y'all, this year mnipatie gigs za ku MC. Thanks. Anyway, during Kethan Live Experience 1, I was so carried away by the experience, and it was one of the first events that we reviewed on this podcast. So yes, definitely I was excited. Tessie did such an amazing job with the deco that was outside the photo booth area. She had put like some clouds and some like green crawling plants. They looked really good. The artist treatment was so nice. Shout out to Kethan's team for taking good care of us. I arrived there really early for soundcheck, and also because I was providing medics on standby for the event. It's crazy that the fans had already started streaming in even before the gates were open, like so early. Bro, don't play with Kethanols, how many Ethanols. Do not play with those people, please. Nick was the one who was DJing, and I've seen him say several times that that was one of his best gigs ever to play. I usually enjoy being on stage with Nick a lot. Like this, we just always like in sync. I kind of struggled with the sound because at some point sikuwa najisikia nikipanda huko stage huko juu kabisa, but huku chini nilikuwa najisikia like where the DJ booth was, but we made it work eventually. When Kethan was ready, he walked through the room saying hi to his fans. Alikuwa anaenda tu hii side ingine kwa row ingine, anakuja kwa this other row. Sikia vile nasema ni kama, but if you are there, you have a visual of what I'm saying, right? He came onto stage, but akaguzaguza mitambo hivi, and there were some technical issues. So Nick and I had to hold it down for several minutes. But yeah, they sorted everything out, and the show eventually started, and he was so good on stage. Like, regardless of the difficulties and the challenges that happened, like on that day, I think he did a pretty decent job. He also called out his collaborators to come onto stage within the performance, Akina Mudhaka, Brandy, and Watendawili. His live looping has gotten way better than the last time I experienced it. He even incorporated bass guitar. That was really cool. The audience engagement was insane. During Wimbo Wetu, he called Bloodworth to come onto stage, and he also co-wrote that song, by the way, and they performed it. He was seated at the piano and he played it, and they performed it so well, and the audience sang it so well. And I'm telling you, he asked people to bring out their flashlights, and the photos from that moment are so immaculate, and the audience sounded so good. Yani,
nitakuwa na wewe kwa wimbo wetu. Huu ni wimbo wetu.
I'm telling you, pure goosebumps, yani. Weh. Anyway, that was a really good event. Honestly, afterwards I got to debrief a bit with Kethan, and this is what he had to tell you guys.
Hey Thanos, this is Kethan. Oh wow, just after the event, I'm feeling ecstatic. Thank you so much for showing up. Wow, the energy, everything was on point. I am really appreciating how much you were singing as well. I cannot wait to see you guys again, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys again very, very soon. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate all of you extremely. Cheers.
Such a sweet soul. That was the last event that I attended in August, of course, last day of August. So let's quickly go through some of the projects that were released in August. The Emotions by Charisma, of course. And we have Chasing the Shine by Rumbi, as we've mentioned in this episode. Masaya Kazi by Listen. Things I Should Have Said by Kaleba Witi. Genesis EP by Murray Jama, which also has this collaboration by Analokanga. Persona non grata, yes. And then Kich Kaliech by Octopizo. I'm telling you, this episode has been a really long one. I didn't even intend it to be this long because the other ones have been really short. But I feel like the need, or if I feel the need to document something like holy, like any episode yenye naeza rudi na niseme, acha nisikize vile hii event iliendanga, and I enjoyed from start to end. So I'm really sorry that it's long, but the documentation was very, very necessary for this particular episode. So guys, thank you for tuning in this long and for spending this time with me. See you next on episode 16, events that happened in September. Toodles!